Transparency. Hello, everybody, it's Tom here. Hope you're all well. I want to talk today about the idea of transparency, the idea of being honest, basically, about how things are, about how you are. I think at my very worst, when I was really deep in my depression, I kept a lot of things away from other people. I hid stuff, perhaps out of shame, and I didn't allow others to help me, especially my family. I kept them very much at arm's length. Now, a lot of this was down to trying to protect them because the emotional attachment that goes with family sometimes, while it's very nice, is not very helpful, especially if you're somebody that is struggling mentally. They say that the best person to speak to when you're getting sort of therapy and advice is somebody that's not a friend, not a member of the family, somebody who's not attached. Which, to be honest with you, makes perfect sense. Because seeing a situation where you are in a good place, you have to be very sort of almost scientific about it. Particularly if you're a therapist, you've got to look at it with a non-emotional lens, if that makes sense. It's very difficult to do that if the person giving you advice or listening or trying to help you is a member of your family that loves you, because their bias is always going to be emotionally charged, if that makes sense. So what I'm trying to get at here today really is that being transparent and being open about your feelings is not an easy thing to do, especially not easy for us guys. We never ever like to open up much. It's still seen as very much a weakness to the older generation anyway. So just recently I've been going through some tough things, shall we say, personally. But I haven't hidden like I did before. I've been very open and honest about everything. Perhaps a little overshare, but with the people that I've told, I know that they're not going to gossip about it. They're not going to try and, fix my problem, shall we say. But they are going to listen. They're going to lend a comforting word or two to try and keep me focused on the straight and narrow, as I said in one of my videos the other week. So I think it's very important that if you are going through a tough time, that you're honest about it. Don't try and bottle it up, don't try and hide it. Just be transparent, just be clear. Be clear sometimes with people that perhaps aren't your family. My workplace are aware of my current situation. I've had a discussion with higher management in one of my workplaces. They are aware of my current issues. They know that all is not well, shall we say, in my wider circle. They know because I've had the decency to tell them, instead of bottling it up, perhaps acting differently, strangely, which would not have helped matters. The big one for me is I didn't want it to get to a stage where I kept it down and at some point there was an emotional outburst, which could have been potentially damaging for me in all situations, really. So, being transparent is something we should all be striving to do. Shouldn't be looking at it as in a shameful manner. If your situation is bad, you should have the decency and the honesty to be straight with people and honest. Everybody is fighting a battle that we don't know anything about. Everybody is taking on something mentally. Some people are very vocal about it, like myself, others not so. Respect whatever side they're on. If they don't want to talk about it, respectfully step back and let them, if they want to, open up. If they don't, just leave it. If, like myself, they do want to talk about it, lend an ear if you can. Be honest if you can. Help them if you can. Even if it's just listening, believe me, just listening is a big thing sometimes. You don't have to have all the answers. You do not have to have the masterful advice which is going to turn someone's life around. But if you can spend 10 minutes out of your day, believe me, the other person will appreciate that. I very much appreciated a couple of talks I had last night with 2 people in the higher management in my other job, which just reaffirmed that the door's always open, we are here, and that we can try and be there in a support capacity. How much is only limited because this is not something that neither I or they can control, which makes it a little bit worse. But as long as you understand, sometimes these circumstances are beyond our control. Guys, first 3 videos this week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy spent on my channel. Thank you kindly. First of 3, as I said, please put down in the comment section below, what's your opinion on transparency? Do you think it's important to be open and honest with people sometimes? I believe that definitely when you're going through struggles, trying to hide it, trying to bottle it up is not a good thing. Some people would look at it as they don't want others prying into their affairs, which I 100% understand. Some would say everyone's got their issues, I'm just going to plod on, which is very amicable, but sometimes you can be like a volcano about to erupt. I feel like that, particularly if you try and suppress emotion for too long, at some point it's going to out. It's better that they know in the first instance why that may happen, rather than you waiting for it to happen and then saying afterwards, actually, I'm going through a lot of bad things at the moment, and you allowed it to bubble up. Not bottling it up is really something us guys have got to do less of. Please, if you would, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. That'd be great. Consider giving me a thumbs up and like. That'd be fantastic too. And let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know when my next content's out. I will be back in a couple of days with another video. But as always, please take care of yourselves. And bye for now.